Today we have a different approach when it comes to graphic cards and testing and reviewing and basically everything else. Now I know everybody's expecting a review on the RTX 3000 series, but today we have something completely different and we have PALIT GeForce GTX 1650 Gaming Pro OC, and this graphic card will be definitely interesting for those who are more oriented on budget gaming. Of course, there's always a GTX 1650 Super, but let's see how this lower tier budget card can run some games, loads of games basically. So stay tuned. Basically, here it is, guys. So the GTX 1650 Gaming Pro OC graphic card, or as they called it by their short name, GPOC, which has two fans. I think they're 80mm fans. You have one 6-pin connector right here for the power supply, for the power of the graphic card, and it's kind of standard normal design, nothing extreme, no RGB, and quite alright. Now for the back side, of course, when we're talking about the lower tier graphic cards, you won't get a backplate, which is a shame. I would always prefer having a backplate no matter what graphic card, even though it's just slapping the plastic on it and making it look nicer. When we're talking about connectivity ports, I'm actually really surprised because even some RTX cards have this DVI-D ports, and this one is more to my liking because it has two display ports and one HDMI. Now, placing this inside the build, so I'm going to pair it up surprisingly with a bit higher processor than it should usually be paired up, so 10700K. But I want to see this graphic card breathe freely and to see maximum performance it can achieve. So guys, we're going to test it out on a couple games and of course benchmark to see how it performs with the FPS, temperatures and everything else. Let's go! Tests were run in a couple of games, so we had DeusEX, we had Hitman, we had, well, basically Hitman 2, we had PUBG, also we had For Honor, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and that's basically it. Now, taking into consideration, we got DeusEX on high details, 1080p of course, with 72 Celsius degrees. Basically the card was constantly running on around 71, 72 average, which is quite alright. 100% in DeusEX we had 53.8 average, 41.5 minimum, and max was 70.1 FPS. In For Honor we had 48 FPS average in 70 with 72 Celsius degrees and 80% of load, but I do have to mention that the details were on extreme and 1080p. Shadow of the Tomb Raider high details 1080p, 51 FPS average with 73 Celsius degrees. Then we have the Hitman 2 on medium details 1080p, which hit 65 average FPS, 72 Celsius degrees and 99 load. And finally PUBG on very low details, as it should be played, 1080p. We had, I'm shocked, 135 FPS on average, 73 Celsius degrees and 99% load on the graphic card. Now, I know that this is practically a very old card, but we're talking about budget cards, so if you could stretch, I would definitely suggest going with GeForce GTX 1650 Super GP OC, as well from PALIT, and I'll put the links for both cards below. When we're talking in general about FPS, temperatures, and of course, well, basically load, it doesn't matter. But when you take into consideration the details that were used in certain games, I would say that this is quite a right budget card. I mean, there's nothing left to say, right? So the links for the PALIT GeForce GTX 1650 GPOC and of course GeForce GTX 1650 Super GamingPro OC are below in the description, so you can check out the details, the prices and everything. And if you're on a budget or running a low range processor, which these two cards would definitely fit perfectly, you can get it yourself by clicking the links below. For future videos, I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching and bye bye.